I'm Cynthia Adams, the CEO for Pearl Certification, and I am so pleased to be joined here today for an interview with Sandra Adomatis. A little bit of background on Sandy. She is the author of Residential Green Valuation Tools. She has deep appraisal experience herself, of course, and she is a lead green associate. Sandy's experience includes developing a 4-hour seminar on completing the Appraisal Institute's Green and Energy Efficient Appraisal Addendum, an 8-hour course entitled Case Studies in Valuation of Green Residential Buildings, and a 2-day course on residential and commercial valuation of solar for the Appraisal Institute. And she is the voice of residential green for the Appraisal Institute. So Sandy, again, thank you so much for joining me here today. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Cynthia, for having me.
I want to start out talking to you about the Green and Energy Efficient Appraisal Addendum, which is a really important document that we use in Pearl Certification. With every certification that we do, we issue one. Can you tell me a little bit more about the history of this document and how it's being used?
Yeah, I can. My newest term for the form is, this is the DNA of a house. So it really gives the buyer, the prospective buyer, it gives the appraiser and the lender or underwriter an idea of what's behind the walls. Because as you well know, all houses can look alike from the outside, and the style doesn't have to change to be a green home or a home with green features. So it's really what's behind the wall, the technology. So this form is really giving us the nitty-gritty of what makes this home high performance. So it calls it out specifically, and it puts it in a language, a standard communication language that appraisers understand and realtors can understand and buyers can understand, maybe not as well as the industry does, but they know there's something special about the home. But that green addendum is something that identifies the lender when a borrower goes in, takes it to the lender, hands it over to the lender is notified right away. This is something different. I've not seen this on another house. So that means I really need to hire an appraiser that understands what makes this house high performance. So it's really a great communication tool to assure that the buyer gets a competent appraiser to go out and do the valuation of it. You want somebody who understands the green addendum, has taken a class in it, and has a competency in it. So it's really a communication tool in all the parties involved in that transaction.
Let me back this one up because I'm going to jump to, I'm a real estate agent, and I did everything that I was recommended to do from Pearl. I gave the buy side agent the information in a timely fashion, and we still got back an appraisal that looks like it didn't take anything into account. How do I manage that as a seller's agent? What do I do?
All right, you do have a recourse. Now, a lot of there's a myth out there that once the appraisal comes in, it's in concrete, nobody could ever change it, you can't call anybody. Here's what I always suggest. After the appraisal is done, you never call the appraiser. You call the lender, because the appraiser has a confidentiality obligation to their client. Well, their client is the lender. It's not the borrower or the seller, it's the lender. Because the lender is the one that hires the appraiser. So what the realtor should do is contact the lender and say, I have some concerns. I would like a formal reconsideration of value. Now, some lenders have a special form that's their house proprietary format, and they'll send you an email with that form. And what they want you to do is fill it out. So that means in writing, they want you to identify the features in that appraisal that you feel are incorrect, what the correct ones are. If they missed sales that would be more relevant than the ones they use, then they want you to identify those. Then that back to the lender, along with any documentation, any copies of MLSs or anything that you have, any certifications that you have. If they totally did not include the AI Green Addendum and you gave it to them, that's something you'd want to document. Send the addendum with the paperwork back to the lender. Now, if you file that formal reconsideration of value, the lender has to track that through their system, because the lender cannot hire a second appraiser without having some good reason to do that. So they have to document everything they're doing. That's a Dodd-Frank regulation. So then the lender will go to the appraiser, and ask the appraiser to review the reconsideration of value form, make any corrections they feel necessary, or explain why there are no corrections necessary. So that's the process that you would follow.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sandy. I think those are all excellent points, and we'll strive to make available to our Pro Partner agents all of the documents that we've referenced here in this discussion, either via link or via PDF, depending upon the document. Thanks so much, Sandy. Look forward to speaking with you soon.
Thank you.